Well, the era of politicking is really on, and one state that is on focus this morning is Plateau State. And joining us to look at what is happening there before the primaries next week is a political science lecturer at the University of Jos, Sam Godongs, right? I got that.
Yeah.
Good morning and thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Well, there's been some complaints and bickering amongst people, especially in Plateau State, those who are not of the Berom extraction. They say that the incumbent governor, is up against others in the state in getting the candidate that will fly the flag of the PDP in Plateau State.
Yeah.
Tell us what you understand about the politics of Plateau State as we go into 2015 elections.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you for the opportunity. This is to be expected. There is a very keen contest for power. People are hustling left and right. People are developing strategies. So their schemes, will warrant them to label others, to criticize, even unconstructively others. So it's to be expected. In fact, the entire Nigerian political scenario is washed a lot of some of these antics. In Plateau State, what is going on is a contest between conservatism and a bit of radicalism. The present governor is daring the status quo. The present governor has, soared above, his predecessors. And he is trying to push the frontiers of our political mentality beyond what we know as the normal. For instance, the fact that he is bureau does not constitutionally deny any other bureau from contesting elections, for God's sake. It's not against the law. It's not against any, the grand norm in this country. Secondly, all the candidates that have come on board, 17 of them, 9 from the south, around 5 from the central, and then 3 from the north, does not represent an exclusive, engagement. So the Biron question is just a smoke screen, He has allowed the the party and the constitution, and people are keenly crisscrossing all the local governments in the state to campaign. So if they had, apprehensions as to their participation, they wouldn't.
If you say he has more let out an even playing field,
yes,
that's what you're saying. But
yes.
Where then is this rumor that he's tilting towards one ethnic group? Where is it coming from? Why would there be bickerings about the fact that he's determined to select his own successor?
Well, he might have his preferences, and I think that is allowed. For now, is still within the PDP. Is a party affair, and you know that if you've been in the helm of affairs for 8 years, and you have had so much investment. In fact, Plateau has witnessed so much infrastructural investment that the opposition cannot but even compliment the present governor. In fact, so if he has preferences, I think it's understandable. Because you cannot build a house and step back and watch it being derailed or ruined, for that matter. So I think it's a healthy one, and the fact that all these other contestants or aspirants also have ethnic affiliations. The Tarok, for instance, have produced a governor in that state, and Tarok people are still aspiring to be governor. The Gumai have produced a governor in that state, and they are still aspiring. And likewise, you can apply it to the Angas and other people. So it's a political argument, that I was taught once that where you stand on an issue depends on where you sit. So the underlying interest propels particular lines of arguments, you know, to sway either public opinion or voters or, you know, interest.
You know, a lot of people will say that ideally it shouldn't matter where anybody is from.
Absolutely.
I mean, because that's why one of the reasons why the Constitution possibly doesn't spell that out.
Yes.
Nobody should be barred from contesting offices. But then, you know, they have said that we're a country of diverse ethnic groups. Sure. Some groups are bigger than some other groups. And if we're to say that, you know, majority will always win because that is democracy for you, the chances are that some people might never get to the post. I mean, if we're just to be saying that
yes.
they were cleaving by ethnic groups. But if we were to say we reached a consensus arrangement where we all have this going round, this leadership position, so everybody had a sense of belonging in a particular state, perhaps it will be a fairer way. Is it one thing that the state government, or the yes. state governor more specifically, is looking at in terms of what his choice will be, or whom he will support?
I can't agree more with you, my sister, because if there were, in the Constitution, there are provisions for federal character, quota system, and some such considerations. But take the case of Plateau. I would have loved that logic to be stretched to the point where you have a register of all the ethnic groups. In fact, in Plateau, we have over 50 ethnic groups, ethnic and linguistic diversity. And if we had a sequential arrangement or alphabetical arrangement of all the ethnic groups, then we will know who is taking what turn. And as I just said, the Tarok, for instance, have produced a government, they are still aspiring. The Gumai have already produced and they are still aspiring. So where is the fairness that we are alluding to? Where are we trying to stretch this logic? You know, but the idea, I like what you said, because once a person who has ethnic affiliation is in power, he doesn't solve all the problems of his tribesmen. He doesn't liquidate all the liabilities of a particular tribe.
Now, that they've done it before doesn't mean that, you know, they cannot aspire. That doesn't, of course, defeat their right to aspire.
Yes.
Usually what happens is that the person who is there, they will say, your ethnic group just finished their turn, so let other ethnic groups contest. But when you say that my own ethnic group just finished, doesn't matter, we can come again, that's usually where trouble starts.
The problem is that you are not even talking of the entire ethnic groups. Some are going for second term, some are going for third term. I mean, and to be fair to the senatorial distribution, all the zones have had, you know, a shot at the governorship position in the state. The South has, the Central has, and the North has. So the debate is, where do we start from again? Some have, you know, given the analogy of this Esusu thing, where the last person goes to become the first, and so on and so forth. So there is no arrangement that is concretely on ground as to the sequence or the arrangement on ground. It's just people's fair assessment and perception of what is right.
If I may come in here.
Yes, please.
The Plateau, and indeed just, has been known to be a collection, a place for all tribes. Everybody comes.
Miniature Nigeria.
Okay, miniature Nigeria,
yes.
just. How is it then that we'll be talking ethnic politics in the Plateau? Why should that be? I mean, you're a political scientist, so do you think that's the kind of politics that should be going on now, especially with the kind of things that have happened? I mean, tensions back and forth, not before the political era. So why would we be pushing forth the ethnic politics
That is exactly my problem. My problem is we are from a setup that we should look for criteria other than ethnicity. We can't stretch the ethnic card too far, because it's not practicable in our case to arrange over 50 ethnic groups and say, look, each one of you will have a shot at governorship. Let us instead promote competence, promote somebody who has the charisma, who has the capacity to deliver the goods. Hunger does not have an ethnic coloration. Unemployment does not have an ethnic coloration. And let me dare say that those at the height of this debate promoting the ethnic argument are removed from reality. When you go to the state today, the youths don't want to, buy this idea. We are tired of this ethnic card. We want someone that will, continue in the footsteps of the present governor, give us infrastructures, give us employment, give us, security, give us, the things that will make life better.